All right, so now we can talk about how electrons fill up orbitals in atoms. And they do so according to what's known as the Aufbau principle or the building up principle. And the basic idea here is that electrons fill orbitals starting with the lowest energy orbitals and then going up to higher and higher energies. For a given n, so for a given principal quantum level, the energy increases as we go from S to P to D to F. So NS is going to be lower in energy than NP and D and then NF. So this all for a given N value. However, and this is a very big caveat here, as we go to higher N values, there are some weird overlaps that start to occur with sublevels. So you kind of have to know the actual observed filling order because sublevel energies often overlap in kind of unpredictable ways. But as long as you know what those are, you can predict them. So what you need to know is the actual observed filling order for electrons in orbitals, starting with the lowest energy and going to the highest energy. So in atoms, electrons will fill the 1s orbital first, followed by the 2s, followed by the 2p, followed by the 3s, followed by the 3p. Everything is as expected so far. Here's where the first inversion occurs. 4s fills before 3d. Now, you would think that every orbital in a lower n value would fill before you get to the next n value, but clearly that's not true. We have this inversion here. After 3d, 4p fills, and then we have another inversion. 5s fills before 4d. Then you get 5p filling, but then 6s fills before 4f. And then comes 5d and 6p. Now, it's very difficult to remember that. Once you get used to it, you will remember it well, and you can also kind of use the periodic table to help you with it. But one really cool memory tool to help you remember that filling order is to write down the orbitals in each principal quantum level on their own rows very neatly. Okay, so as we go up, each principal quantum level has a new L value, right? So it's going to have a new orbital designation. So here we have 4F, then we have 5S, 5P, 5D, 5F, 5G. G is not actually really filled in any known elements, but I'm just writing them all down for completeness' sake. 6P, 6D, 6F, 6G, etc. Okay, so once you've written that all very, very neatly, you can draw diagonal lines going down kind of each slot. And this is just a little memory tool that tells you the filling order. So 1s fills first, then 2s, then 2p, then 3s, then 3p, then 4s, then 3d, then 4p, then 5s. After 5s, you fill 4d, then 5p, then 6s. You see how that works? After 6s, you fill 4f, then 5d, then 6p. And that's pretty much it for the periodic table. So the electrons fill starting with 1s, and then they kind of go on in this order. And that's how you can derive electron configurations for different elements.